you take your eyes off others and just keep them on you. And you're going to see what's going on with others. And if you ever need to take action, you'll see the right and perfect action to take. When will you do that for yourself out of England? Rachel, thank you for holding. You were talking about the shooting there in Nashville, Tennessee here, I guess yesterday or the day before. When you saw that, what impact did it have on you?
Oh God, it just gutted me to my stomach and made me sad. But just because of the children more than anything. But what's done me more than anything is and made me mad. And I've just been listening to what you've just said, and you're right. You know, even people, I'm on about this David Pacman, but what he's put, and that just incited me, and I can't stand him, especially because I saw, you know, just how he was with you. I know you handled him well, but it's made me reflect and think about this David Pacman. He can't help himself being a fool and like the village idiot, and he's just an empty vessel. Did you see the tweet he made?
Why you let it, when you saw the shooting that happened in Nashville, right? And you heard, you saw his tweet, whatever that was. Why did it bother you at all? Even with the children getting shot and all that, why were you bothered, period?
I mean, to be honest, about the shooting, I wasn't, you know, I thought about it at the time when I read it. I didn't really, I felt sad, I think, because I've got kids.
But why feel sad because you have kids? What was the purpose of feeling that?
I don't know. I just thought, them poor kids, the fear that might have been in them, that's what I was thinking when it happened. But then I forgot about it. Didn't dwell on it. Is
it normal to feel sad for situations like that?
Probably not, no. But I think.
And why do you say not?
Probably because I haven't been doing the silent prayer all the time, Jesse. Before you ask,
you say what now? You say what about the prayer?
I haven't been doing the silent prayer as I should.
What suffer? No wonder you feel sad. What the?
I knew you'd say that, and then with what you've just been saying as well, I know, no, it's not normal. It should just, you know, come and go, and I shouldn't think about it. But I agree, because we can't take on board everybody else or anyone else's pain, can we?
So when you saw it, and then you felt sad, your first reaction was to feel sad. Did you pull back and question yourself? Why am I feeling sad about this? Did you question yourself about it?
No, I just forgot about it. It was only for like a minute. I know that sounds harsh, probably, but
it doesn't sound harsh to me.
Yeah, no, and then
and then when you saw David's tweet, why were you bothered by that?
Well, just to say, I don't follow that fool. I saw it on Candace Owens' thing, just because it just incensed me.
Well, why? When you were incensed by it, you would know better than him.
Yeah, I realised that after just listening, but he was mocking people.
But it's not about him, Rachel. It's about you. Whatever he does is on him. It shouldn't impact you at all. And you allowed that to get to you, something that somebody else was really doing to themselves. They weren't doing it to you, they were doing it to themselves. But why did you let that impact you?
I think already because, and I know I shouldn't, and I know you can handle yourself and you don't need me to look after you, but I think I've got a disdain for him anyway. But again, that's on me, but because of just saw the type of person he was, and some of the things I saw he wrote about you on YouTube, which made me mad at the time.
And do you want to be free in the world? When you felt something, emotions about what happened in Nashville, did you feel alive?
No.
Did you feel like you had love?
No.
when you got mad at David for tweeting what he said about whatever he said about the shooting, did you feel alive?
No.
Did you feel loved?
No, I felt mad. Felt the opposite, probably.
And so, and do you know that when you got mad, you were judging him?
I realise that now on reflection and listening to what he said before.
And so, who is worse, David for saying that, or you for judging him?
I'm probably as bad.
I'm sorry?
I'm as bad as what he is for judging him.
And so, when will you take your eyes off others and just keep them on you? And you're going to see what's going on with others. And if you ever need to take action, you'll see the right and perfect action to take. When will you do that for yourself?
I mean, to be fair, a lot of the time, and especially I've said before when I rung up, since I've been doing the silent prayer and when I was doing it properly night and day, and I've just kind of dropped off, and I found there was a lot. I was just generally a bit calmer, and it was almost, this sounds silly, but it was almost like walking on water, like gliding on through the world, and that was a much a light feeling. So I think the answer to everybody is, and I can speak on that, is to bother to do the silent prayer when you're meant to in the morning and night, because it does work. And since I've stopped doing it, gradually, bit by bit, creeping in, of these thoughts of me judging other people and feeling mad have come into me again. Do you know what I mean?
And so, Rachel, I do know what you mean, and I understand why you stopped. I know what stopped you, but for you, knowing that it helped you like that, and knowing that it do what it does for you, what made you stop? Why would you stop praying? Why would you stop being still? Even God said, don't stop praying. Pray without ceasing. Why would you personally stop?
I think what it wasn't a conscious decision. I think because I was like you say, I was almost, seeing the world and everything else through perfect love, through God's love. And so I suppose subconsciously I took it for granted. And so now I look back and reflect. As I felt, like I did, I didn't think, oh, I don't need to do that. It just started slipping my mind because I was, it subconsciously everything was running smooth, and then it's only now on reflection and I'm talking to you and listening to what you said when you came back from the last break, to everybody. I don't mean to me. It's made me think. That's what's made me switch in my head now, made me realise that that's what's changed. Was gradually, as I've lessened and lessened and lessened doing the silent prayer, my anxiety and judging other people has gone up and up and up. As the silent prayer, stopping silent prayer has come down.
Absolutely. And because what happens is when you get mad at other people, it's really you're arguing with the devil, and you should never, ever, ever argue with the devil within your imagination or the devil within others, because that's what the devil in them want, and they're just two devil arguing, and things only get worse for you rather than if you overcome evil with love. Meaning don't resent anyone, no matter what. You can see the wrong in it if it's wrong, but don't judge them for it. But you got to go back to the prayer, Rachel. You got to stay with it. And eventually, it will be as natural as it is a nice morning, sunny, light day. It'll be natural as it is drinking water or whatever, right? It'll be your life. It'll be you to walk in the spirit, meaning to walk in the light, to walk in perfect love.
Yeah, I think now, because I've not consciously thought about it before, as such, or not recognised it, but I'm so glad I phoned you about it, because this wasn't the conversation I was going to have say what and and a-hole and all that. But I'm glad we didn't have that conversation. I'm glad. I'm so grateful for you, Jesse, and your team and everyone. And now it's clicked me back into shape. And this is the first time I've had real realization how, stop, the decline of the silent player, how it's allowed escalation of the devil in my mind again,
Yeah. And because you got to, and I'm sure you do already, that human beings are wicked. Human beings are evil until their hearts are changed to love. And so, and so when situations happen, as Nick just pointed out to me, when you do the silent prayer, you got to watch your overreaction to it. And eventually, if you watch yourself without judging, you're not going to overreact to the world. You're going to overcome it. And so when someone does try to hurt you, you would know that that's evil in them trying to get something from you so they can feel better. It won't be personal. You would know that that person can't help it. They're of their father, the devil, and they just can't see. You'll be protected. So I urge you to go back, even when that shooting happened in Nashville. I could see that it was evil, and I understood that it was because the people that did it was evil. They are angry at whatever. It was evil action, and I understood that that person that been accused of doing it did not know what they were doing. They couldn't see. They were angry. And the devil worked with them to cause them to do that. It wasn't their idea to even do that. It was, and then it was the spirit of the imagination, which is evil, right? And then the people who are reporting on it, what happened, I could see that they're evil too, because they would say things like, "Oh, the poor little sweet girl," and the heroic teacher. And all that stuff is evil too, because they're trying to bring up fake emotion, and they call that love. Both are evil in what they're trying to do. You can report on that situation without trying to make it emotional at all.
Because, they should just report facts, shouldn't they?
Yeah, that's right. Just present the facts. We try to bring on without trying to bring on good feelings or bad feelings. Here are the facts. And if you're a seeker, you would know that it was evil. So it's crazy how the people are reporting on the story. The so-called good people, they're desperately trying to get some type of sad, good feeling from it, and it made them feel good by trying to draw out emotions from you, and they call it good emotions. All emotions are evil. And so be aware of the people who are trying to draw out sad or good emotion from you. They call the headmaster, there was a woman there who was a headmaster, and apparently she was killed too. They call her a hero. The headmaster was a hero. She got off her phone right away and went and did this and did that. It's to bring out sadness in you so they can feel good, like they're doing something good. That's evil.
Yeah, definitely. But the thing I do want to say as well is I think that just goes to show, because there is so many, the devil is working through so many people. That
yes.
I wish is it the Second Amendment you have, to the right to bear arms? Is that what you have?
Right. And we have the right to bear arms, and we should be able to protect ourselves from these evil things that can happen. We have a right to do that, and we given to us by God.
I agree. Because I don't know, because this person, Audrey, whatever her name was, had planned out. There were two schools, and she didn't go to another school because there was armed protection around it. And if anything, that should say yes, there should be more armed people. And I wish we had that in England, because all we have is not necessarily where I live. I just live out of Manchester, but colossal amounts of knife crime and. So it's just as bad. But if the normal citizens could bear arms, certainly in England, I can tell you for now there won't be as many little scroats running around with knives.
And you know why they won't do it? They want you in fear.
Yeah.
They want you in fear because they control you when you are afraid. They want
Yeah.
you in fear. That's why they won't do what's best and the right thing. That's why they want to take away your right to bear arms. They want you in fear, and they want the crazy people to run wild, to threaten you, to try to hurt you, to rob you, because they want that. And they're evil, and they're using that for false power and wealth for themselves.
But Jesse, why do these elite want that? Why do they want to do that to everybody?
Because you know how you was feeling about David and what happened at the school? They feel the same way.
Yeah.
It's the same spirit. They're evil. And they're trying to
Just 'cause
find
they're
something,
evil.
make something happen to make themselves feel good. Just like the people who are trying to make you feel emotional about the shooting. The government and the people who are trying to take away your right to bear, it's the same spirit. It's the same thing. They too are trying to
Because
feel good.
they're in fear as well secretly.
Yes. They're evil. They're absolutely, they're in fear. All angry people have fear. Within themselves, they have fear. They live in their imagination. And so they're trying to find a way to feel like they have life when they're really having death.
Yeah. Well, that makes a lot of sense. Sorry for taking so much time in Manhood Hour.
I
But,
know.
I appreciate it. I just want to say one last thing to you.
Yes.
You ready? You told Hoppo to beat me.
You so Hoppo to beat me. Amazing. Rachel, thank you so much. All right, go back to the prayer.
I will do. And love to everyone. Say hi to Nick for me.
I will.
My fave mate. All right.
All right. Thank you, Rachel. He can hear you. Thank you.
All right. Much love to everyone. Bye.
Bye now.